on the Texas A&M Sports Network. From Learfield, live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue on Harvey Road in College Station. Welcome to the Joni Taylor Coaches Show, presented by Bud Light. It's for the fans. And by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Visit Rudy's.com to find real Texas barbecue near you. Now, the Joni Taylor Coaches Show.
And hello again, everybody. Welcome out to Rudy's Barbecue. It is the debut edition of the Joni Taylor Radio Show. You guys all found us tonight. What a crowd.
Great crowd.
Wow. They're going to have to put some more meat on the in the oven back there in the barbecue pits with all you guys here. We're going to be here throughout the year, although we are changing from Mondays. This will be the last Monday. We're moving to Tuesdays, which I know just screws up some of your calendars. But rest assured, same fun, different day, all right? So make plans. Next week we will be back, and it will be Tuesday, and that will be our schedule going forward unless something goofy happens along the way. My name is Steve Miller. I am excited to be with you. And Joni, congratulations on being the Texas A&M coach. And this is the first time many people may have seen you since you took the job.
I know. I was talking to Christina earlier. She said, do you realize this month makes 8 months since you got hired? I was like, really? It feels like a month ago. I feel like it's just starting. So I can't believe how time is flying. But super happy to be here. Really getting to know Aggie Land, and I tell you, just really happy and excited about the season starting.
You know, folks may not know you were coming running in the door right at the last minute here because you've been out of the community and you're so active in the local community. Tell folks what you've been doing in the community.
Well, we just got back from the Boys and Girls Club. We went to speak to the Boys and Girls Club at Brazos Valley, and you know that's something that's really near to me in my heart. Grew up working at the Boys and Girls Club in Mississippi. Every summer I work there, and so just anytime I have a chance to be in front of that group, it's really, really good to play games with them, talk to them, encourage them, whatever it is they need. So that's what we were running in the door from. And then trying to put together an entire community service calendar. Community service is really important. It's one of our 3 pillars. So, you know, we want to obviously graduate at a high, with 1 or 2 degrees. We want to compete at a high level for championships, and we want to serve our community well. And so we are now getting our arms around, Christina's getting her arms around our community service umbrella. And we want to adopt a school. We want to get out and serve people in underprivileged areas. We want to do something around Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we just have tons of things that we want to do because we're so blessed. We're so fortunate, right? And part of that is making sure we understand to have a servant's mentality and to give back.
Yeah, that's not always easy to do because it takes time away from someone's personal schedule to want to give back and be able to give back.
You know, it does. But that's why even in the recruiting process, we make sure they understand you are going to be asked to give of your time. Mm-hmm. You know, we ask people to come watch us play. Sure. We ask people to do things for us. We need to make sure that we are not just takers, that we are giving as well.
Yeah, and that's interesting that you're already talking about in the recruiting process. I mean, that tells you about the caliber of young ladies you're looking for.
Well, it's intentional, and everybody can't play here, right? And, you know, doesn't mean they're bad and we're good, or we're good and they're bad. It just means it's not the right fit. Mm-hmm. And so we want to be as transparent as possible because we ask them to do hard things, don't we, Patty? We ask them to do hard things, and that's okay, you know, and it prepares them for life. And so this 4 or 5 year journey that they're going to be on with us, Steve, it's preparing them for the next 40 years of their life. And so as much as they can know about that before they make their decision, they know exactly what they're walking into. And it's also why we knock on wood, have not had, you know, a lot of issues in the transfer portal because people know exactly what it is they're getting, and then we're true to our word once they get here.
Yeah, and you talked about the Boys and Girls Club a few moments ago. When you were in the Boys and Girls Club as an instructor or a leader, what did you gain from that?
You know, it really opened my eyes up. The Boys and Girls Club of Lauderdale County is where I worked, and it was across town from where I lived, and it really helped me wake up, to be honest, and understand how fortunate I was and how much I had taken for granted. It also showed me the impact that I could have on young lives, you know, to walk in every day and I had the 10 through 12-year-olds. That was the age group. And to have them, like, running and wanting to hug you and just be up under you, it really helped me be intentional about how I behaved, how I acted, the things that I said. And it was really, honestly, the first time that I realized that I could really, just a small touch, a small hello, a small smile, what it could do for someone, and not knowing the situation that people are in. And those young boys, those young girls would come in, and the only meal they got that day was the meal at the Boys and Girls Club. But you never know it. They're happy. They were playing. And so it just, again, gratitude was something that I really walked away from, and just having a bigger vision for how grateful I was, and not to take things for granted, and also help where I could.
How big a town was that?
Oh, how big is Meridian? It's the third largest city in the state.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, that's shocking. People don't know that.
I was going to say, I got Hattiesburg and Jackson, and beyond that, I didn't know.
And I don't know exact numbers. I have no idea how big Meridian is.
Are you the greatest success story from Meridian?
Not close. Not even close. Derek McKee is from Meridian, Mississippi.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Dexter McLeon is from Meridian, Mississippi. Played for the St. Louis Rams. Won a world. Kenyatta Walker, who was my classmate, played for Tampa Bay, won a world champion. So Meridian's got tons and tons of talent. And that's how also I knew that I was capable of doing a lot of things, because just speaking of athletes, I can go on and on about business leaders and community leaders, but no, I'm a small fry. Small fry.
What about what are some of the community service endeavors you guys are going to be getting involved in here in Aggieland?
Well, one of them coming up, obviously for Thanksgiving, we always adopt a family, and we try to serve a need and provide a need during that time. In December, we're going to have a bike build. It's something that we did at Georgia. We're going to bring it here. Everybody wants a bike for Christmas. Everybody can remember getting their first bike, right? And we want to find out those young boys, young girls who might not be getting a bike or might not be getting something for Christmas and make that special. And so our players will reach out and raise money to have money donated for bikes. And then we will actually, with our Fast Break Club, they don't even know this, they're hearing it for the first time, we will build bikes. So we don't just go buy bikes, we buy them in the box and then we build them. And so we'll take a Saturday with our Fast Break Club, and we'll build the bikes, and then we'll disperse them into our local community, and then even reach out to Hearn and some other places that are close, and make sure that everybody has what they need for Christmas.
So it'll be a great opportunity for people who are listening or here in attendance as we go along in the next few weeks to be ready to help donate to that great cause.
Absolutely.
That's so cool. All right, that's Coach Joni Taylor. I'm Steve Miller. We're going to be talking a lot of basketball here in the next hour. Come out and join us. We're live at Rudy's Barbecue. It's the Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield. Basketball and barbecue lovers know the perfect brisket needs the right wood. Rudy's smokes all their meats using their delicious signature rubs in 100% oak-fired pits. Get your real Texas barbecue fix today at Rudy's or on the web at rudys.com. We're back on the Joni Taylor Radio Show. I'm Steve Miller along with the coach Joni Taylor. We're out here at Rudy's Barbecue on Harvey Road getting ready for the Aggies to start the season, and they'll do that this Thursday, 7 o'clock against Texas A&M Corpus Christi at Reed Arena. You can listen on the A&M Sports Network locally. That'll be Zone 1150 or watch on the SEC Network Plus. It's also going to be A&M Faculty and Staff Appreciation Night if you are A&M faculty or staff, and there's more than 10,000, I think, of you, maybe upwards of 15,000. 2 free tickets for you, just on advance and on game day. So reach out to the athletic department, get those tickets, get in the stands, and help set the standard for the Joni Taylor era this Thursday at Reed Arena. And look into we're not going to talk specifics about Corpus Christi right now. We can do that in a little bit later. But tell us about your team. What do we need to know as we get ready for Thursday about the Aggies?
We are becoming.
Oh, okay.
We are becoming. That is our motto for the year. We are trying to figure out who we are. Who's our identity? That's where we challenge our team, is what is our identity? Is it on the defensive side of the ball? Is it running? Is it rebounding? Who are we? And we're better than we were. We still got to get there consistently. So what I can say is that you're going to see tons of players on the floor. Everybody has a role for us, and it's different every day based on personnel, based on who we're playing, based on who's playing well. Our young ladies have really tried to do everything we've asked them to do, but we're asking them to play totally different style than what they're used to, right? Tons of ways to play basketball, but we are up-tempo offensively, score as fast as you can, and defensively we are aggressive, we are disrupt, we are deny, we are hedge, and that's different. And so there's no place right now where there's comfort for them, right? On both sides of the ball, it's extremely different from what they've been used to doing. So that takes some time. And so as we are gelling offensively and as we are learning this new way of playing, where can we find an identity quickly? And our challenge has been, let's do that on the defensive side of the ball, and let's do that by rebounding and having one clean possession on defense so we can get out and run.
Yeah, I mean, transition from one style to another style. Yeah. I mean, it takes a commitment and time. How do you manage the frustration of a young lady?
Well, I think that it's them being able to show them how far they've come. Like, they've made tremendous strides from when we had our first practice in April. But it's also, when you start feeling good about yourself, and it's like, well, hold on. Mm-hmm. And so for us, that happened, and then we scrimmaged our male practice players. And then it was like, ooh, we still got some work to do, right? And then you have another scrimmage. Those close scrimmages really help expose us in some ways because we get used to seeing each other every day. And then when you play against somebody different, you really see the things that you've worked on that you've done well, and then you get to see some areas where you really need to hone in and improve.
Sure, and so we're looking forward to that up-tempo offense. I think folks at A&M have seen the aggressive defense and hedging defense. Do you think that's challenging for opponents to emulate during their practice when you see a team that comes out and executes a solid defense like that?
I think it's really hard, especially if you're not used to doing it. If that's what you do, then maybe you can simulate it. But if you are not used to doing that, then no matter how much you try to, it's really, really hard. It's really hard to simulate it in practice.
I've always thought it takes extra effort to play that type of defense. Is that a fair assessment?
Oh, it is. It takes extra effort. It's a little bit harder. It requires you to do two things really well. And that's the other thing where we're trying to teach them is like you can do multiple things in one possession on both ends of the floor. And so that's where we've got to continue compounding things. But yeah, it's requires a little bit more.
Is it also rewarding?
Absolutely. I remember the first time Jada Malone, we were hedging ball screens, and she got out, and we were like, nope, that's not right. Next person, nope, that's not right. And then she came out, and she did it, and then she recovered, and then she did something else, and she was like, whew, that was hard. But that felt good. And I was like, yeah, and I'll do it every time. But no, they're getting it.
You've mentioned a few names of players on the roster that fans are familiar with. Kind of take us through what you've seen from a few players. We've got a few new faces and some faces that were here before. Just kind of tell us about the roster.
Yeah, so, we're very versatile. I'm excited about that. We have tons of players that can score, tons of players that can do some things defensively, once we figure out and once we start doing it consistently. I think until we really get set, I think you're going to see a lot of different rotations. Mm-hmm. And I want to play a lot of different people because if you're playing fast like that, you should get tired. And then we need to sub in and have the next group ready to go. I could really go through everybody. I think that, we'll talk about Miss Aaliyah Patty since she's going to come up here for you in a second. I think she has really embraced the physicality of what it is we're asking her to do. Mm-hmm. She's got great range from three. She's great rip and drive to the rim, but there's going to be some times where we need her to go down there and just really post and bang and lean on some people. And she's really tried to embrace that, and that's something that I'm excited about. And for her, it's like, this is an opportunity for you to be consistent in how you show up every single day, right? When she shows up and she's great, she is great. And that's what we want to see every single day. So everybody has their challenges. Sahara's been really good for us. She's someone who we've played at the 3 and the 4. You'll see her at both of those spots. And then we challenged Mackenzie defensively. She's someone who has an elite ability to defend at a high level. And so we've really asked her to take on that role of being our defensive stopper and getting everybody else on the defensive train. And so she's accepted that role and is trying to come into her own. And so, those are 3 players who I would say have done a really good job with that. And then for some of our newcomers, Janiah Barker, obviously everybody asks about her. Fun personality, 3-level scorer, can affect the game on both ends of the ball. She's a rim protector. She's fun to watch. For us is when to simplify and when to be flashy. She's got both in her game, and sometimes it's too much flash, and it's like, okay, you could have just done something real simple there. So I think for her, it's figuring out when to have the bravado and when to just keep it simple and go on. Sydney Bowles is a freshman from Georgia, from Atlanta. She's an elite shooter, bigger guard, shoots the ball really, really well. Sydney's challenge is shot selection. She came from a high school where she had to take all the shots. And so it's like, you don't have to take that shot, know when to take a good shot and when not to. And she's finding that balance and has really been pretty consistent for a freshman in how she shows up every day. Tanae Hilton also is I call her a tweener. I'm not sure if she's a freshman or a sophomore. She was with us last year, but only played in 6 games. She showed up in January. So we're trying to get her freshman year back. Hopefully that'll happen for us. She's from Canada, and she's a point guard that can also play off the ball. Can also be someone who can jump on that train with Mackenzie defensively and really do some things for us, and has great vision as a point guard, shoots the ball really well. Maya Petticourt is our last freshman from Detroit, Michigan, is really, really good with the balls in her hand, with the ball in her hands. Electric scorer, can score off a ball screen, can get to the rim. For her, it's about pace and it's about reps consistently and knowing what it is we're doing when she steps on the floor. So some talented young players, and then our older players are learning to lead and learning how to be consistent and to string along multiple days of good practices. You know, we practice really, really well. What do we look like the next day? Mm-hmm. You know, or we practice well for 2 days, then we have a day off. And what do we look like after the day off? You know, it's consistently showing up a certain way with an expectation.
You had several of the young ladies you had recruited and were ready to coach, or already were coaching at Georgia. How did you convince them to join you here?
You know, it was a blessing. It was honestly they called and said, we're coming. Wow. You know, the three that came, literally, once it was announced, they said, we're with you. And it was honestly that simple. And I think it speaks to just the culture we have and the chemistry that our staff, you know, at Georgia had, and most of our staff came with us here. And when you see that type of continuity, and it's also the vision that we had given them in the recruiting process of, you know, Janiah knew that she needed to be coached by us. You know, Tanea believed in what it is we were doing, and so did Sydney. And so, you know, credit to them and their parents. They did not bat an eye. That's great. And how does it, people always look, oh, you're committed to one school or you're already playing, but a lot of the rules have changed in the last few years, and here you are, I believe, benefiting from some of those changes. Yeah, I mean, the rule book, they should just throw it out. It changes every single year. They print it, it's not even dry, and the new rule comes out. So if a coach changes jobs or gets fired or is just not there, whatever it is, then you can get out of your release without having a penalty. And now anyone can transfer without having to sit out. That was not the case even 3 years ago, but especially when I played, but you had to sit out a year. Now there's a one-time transfer rule where anybody can go into this portal, it's called a transfer portal, and you can immediately play at the next school. Now it's a one-time thing. You can only do that one time, but it allows players to move if if their coach leaves, then it allows them to have that freedom to do that. We'll ask you another day about the portal. Okay. We'll see if it's good, bad, or indifferent as the season goes along or in the off season. That thing is, man, talk about the rules changing all along. That is, the portal is almost a nasty word in college athletics. But that was me saying it, not you. And so that is it. All right, she's Joni Taylor. I'm Steve Miller. Coming up, we're going to be joined by Aaliyah Patty, the senior. We're live at Rudy's Barbecue. That's the Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield. Not everyone is a morning person yet, but with Costa Vita's new breakfast tacos, everyone will be. Try our bacon, egg, and cheese, or specialties like the machaca beef and egg, or sweet pork, egg, and cheese. Stop by our drive-thru any day from 7 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Order online through the Costa Vita app or the website. Become a morning person at Costa Vita. We're back on the Joni Taylor Radio Show. We're at Rudy's Barbecue tonight, getting set for the Aggies taking on A&M Corpus Christi. That's this Thursday, 7 o'clock, Reed Arena. Get out there for the season opener. And then on Sunday, the Aggies host Army at 2 o'clock, and hope to see you out there for both of those games. Also want to make sure we welcome our Facebook audience. You can always watch the show. If you can't be here in person, you can watch it on the Facebook if you're not listening to it on the radio here on the A&M Sports Network. All right, I'm Steve Miller. That's Joni Taylor. Her name's on the show. And the senior, our returning leading rebounder, Miss Aaliyah Patty. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. What you been doing in the off season?
Oh man, working hard. I'm just working on expanding my game. Just trying to be better all around, shooting, scoring, rebounding, defensively. Just trying to do everything I can for my team this year.
What do you like about your game?
That's a good question. I would say I think I'm a threat all around the perimeter. I'm able to shoot the mid-range, shoot it from far, shoot it from deep, but I'm also able to go inside and bang a little bit. And then defensively, I think I'm good at getting stops by blocking or helping or just doing things all around, everywhere on the floor.
Joni talked about the defensive philosophy, picking up a little tempo here. What's your thoughts on that going so far?
It's been a good transition. She's pushing us mentally and physically, just trying to be in the right positions, trying to be in the right positions for our teammates and just working on the little things every day, the little things on defense and how much they matter, you know. So just trying to improve on getting better every day.
Tell us what an example of a little thing is that's so important.
Boxing out. Yeah, you know, you've gotten a little into that lately. I would say boxing out, talking, communicating, being where you need to be at the right time. So those things, it tweaks, it pulls, right? It's one thing that pulls to the next thing. Mm-hmm. So we're just working on everybody being a part of that, everybody doing what they need to do, being in the right spot. So.
We're visiting with Aaliyah Patty here on the Joni Taylor Radio Show. Aaliyah comes back 7.4 rebounds last year, is also the team's returning leading scorer from last year as well. And if remember, at the very end of the year, you were the A&M's newcomer of the year, so a big impact last year. So we go back and you look at how the season ended in Nashville, and we are 3 days away from restarting here in College Station. What's different for Aaliyah Patty during that time?
What's different is I think I have a bigger role this year. I think I'm trying to be better leading my team. You know, we're kind of young this year, so just trying to help everybody be in the right spots because of the experience I've had. So I think that's been my biggest change, for sure.
You are extremely close to graduating, am I right?
I am.
When is that happening?
Almost there. I'll graduate in May. Finally.
What's that degree going to be in?
So it's university studies. I lost a year of school when I transferred, so I lost a bunch of credit hours.
Oh, no.
So they put me in something that would help me graduate as fast as I could.
And what is your, what do you want to do after you're done playing basketball at Texas A&M?
You know, I potentially want to keep playing. That's been something I'm looking into. And then that gives me time to kind of figure out the long run, the long-term career. So,
how have things changed for you when you left Ohio State until you see graduation on this horizon that's really close? How has things changed for you there?
I would say not a lot. You know, I was able to play with Coach Gary Blair last year. That was amazing. So I think it's just been going from year to year, right? The transition of how am I going to be better this year? What am I going to do better to help my team? Because, you know, you go from one team to another team. You're surrounded by different players every year. You know, we had some players last year that I'm sure everyone in here knows. And, you know, we lost some of them. So it's about how am I going to lead this team, right? Last year was more, I wasn't really that role last year that I am now. So just trying to be there for my team this year, be that leader figure this year.
I'm sure we'll ask you this throughout the season, but what's the impact of Joni and her staff made on you?
Oh, man. It's a really good environment. You know, you come into practice every day ready for new things, learning new things. You know, she comes with a lot of great people around her, and they're very knowledgeable about the game. So it's been good for them to come in and bring that knowledge to me, spread it to us. So, yeah, we're just taking advantage of it.
What'd you do for fun this summer?
In the gym.
Hey, that's up to you. Your coach is standing right here. I don't know.
I went on a vacation when I could for my birthday.
Where'd you go?
Jamaica.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Beautiful place.
They were oohing and awing because you didn't invite them.
Yeah, it was a really fun trip. I mean, outside of there, I really was just in the gym. I was at home with some family for some time. But yeah, just in and out, honestly.
What are some of your teammates we need to keep an eye on this year that have been pressing you so far in the workouts?
Yeah, I think we have a really good freshman class coming in. Like Joni said, we got Janiyah, who's a threat all around the floor. We got Cindy Bowles, she's a threat as a shooter. Maya, she's a threat all around. And Tanea, who, well, she's a tweener, but Tanea, who's a really good point guard when it comes to knowing the game. And I think we just have players that they're ready, right? They're hungry. Some of them didn't get the opportunities that they wanted last year. So they're coming in this year with a certain fire to them. You know, they're ready to play. Sahara Jones, she's been really working on her game. You know, I'm excited to see her grow, keep growing. Sydney Roby, you know, she comes back another year. Who else we got? Everyone.
Yeah, as a leader in this off-season practice, how do you help bring up those teammates who didn't feel like they didn't get that opportunity, but now how am I going to help you take advantage of this opportunity?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of it is about confidence. I think when you're confident, you're able to go in, you're able to know what you do and do what you do well, right? So just trying to tell them, like, hey, you got it. Hey, next play. Hey, like, this is your strength, so use it to the best of your ability. Just trying to make sure that they're on the right track, on the right page, on the same page as everyone else. Just doing everything they know they can do, everything they're good at that helps us win at the end of the day.
Before we let you go, what's your favorite thing about Texas A&M?
I would just say the environment, the Aggie fans. It's beautiful, right? You come in and everyone is greeting you and just happy to see you, and it's really good to be a part of that. It's like a big family, a big home here.
Excellent. Aaliyah, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate
you.
it. Everybody, Aaliyah Patty. We're live from Rudy's Barbecue. It's the Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP Aggie basketball fan experience this year. Go to 12thman.com/maroon contest and register. One winner and a guest will receive game tickets, hotel accommodations, autographed memorabilia, and more. Register today at 12thman.com/maroon contest. Texas A&M Farm Bureau Insurance, proud partner of Texas A&M Athletics. Back on the Joni Taylor Radio Show with Coach Joni Taylor. I'm Steve Miller. We're out at Rudy's Barbecue getting the season started, and hope you can come out and join us. We're here tonight, and then our show will move to Tuesdays going forward, and we'll be out here next Tuesday night. That'll be the next Joni Taylor Radio Show next Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. And earlier, Joni, you mentioned about the holiday bikes, Christmas presents for bikes, and you've already got a donation, and you haven't even gotten up from the table.
I know. I'm so excited. It just melts my heart. $100 donation for our first bike.
What a great deal. And so as we get going over the next few weeks, there'll be a lot more information on how folks can get involved with the team and donate money and bikes that you guys are going to build.
We're going to build them.
Why
We're going
not?
to build a bike. Have you ever built a bike before?
I have built a bike.
You got 3 daughters.
I know.
No?
We built, no. We have built other things. I mean, there are things that just have to go together. But, no, I don't think I built a bike. That doesn't sound fun.
We'll make sure somebody comes out from Sports Academy or Dick's or somewhere to check it to make sure that we've done it correctly.
There's 2 wheels in line.
The handlebars are going the right way.
Right,
My first bike, I put the handlebars on backwards. And then I realized that when I sat on the bike, I said, oh, that's wrong.
Did you like brakes on the handles, or do you like the brakes on the pedals?
Pedals.
And why?
Yeah. When I was first learning, that was easier for me. Now, obviously, handles is better. But
you weren't worried about if you push back on the brake that you'd like flip over?
No.
No?
I worry about that from
up there? You think so? From the front brakes?
Absolutely. Because I'm a little daredevil, so I go fast.
What did you like? Do you like to jump things?
Anything.
Really? Mm-hmm. Did you ever skateboard?
No, I never got into skateboarding.
Yeah. Some people when I grew up across the street from our house had a half bike, and they were in that. But again, that was like in the dark ages for those of you who were doing the math, and I know some of you were in your head. And they were into skateboarding, but I never got into that either. I was afraid I was going to fall off.
Maybe if I knew about a longboard, I would have, but my feet are so big. A skateboard, I couldn't fit on a skateboard when I was little. All right, I've been wearing a size 11 since the 6th grade. I'm serious.
Earlier, we talked about some of the community service projects you guys are doing, and one thing that you've done the moment you hit the ground here is started forming Beyond Basketball, and Angela Jones is here. I'm going to get this title right, and it's maybe the last time I ever give your title because the show is almost out of time, even though we only have like 20 minutes left. Executive Director of External Operations, Marketing, and Strategic Operations. Angela Jones, welcome.
Thank you.
Part of our women's basketball staff. And so, who created Beyond Basketball? Where's that come from? That's you, Joni?
Her baby, yes.
All right. Why did you create it?
It's something I've always wanted to do. Even as an assistant coach, I wanted a space for women. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't think I had the platform then. So as soon as I had my first opportunity to be a head coach, I pulled it out of my pocket. It is a space for women to come together. Guys, men, close your ears. We do everything, right? We're so much for so many. We are mothers, daughters, wives, we're CEOs, we're stay-at-home moms, we are community leaders, we're professors. We're constantly doing. Where is there a space where someone is speaking life back into us and recharging our batteries so that we can then go back out into the community, into the world, and being the wonderful super women that we are? And that's where Beyond Basketball comes into play.
So, Angela, tell us about Beyond Basketball now that it's here in Aggieland.
Yes, it is here, and I have to give kudos. Joni started this about 7 years ago at University of Georgia, and as someone close to her, I watched it blossom. So when she got the opportunity to come to Aggieland, and she wanted to continue it here, and she asked me to come work for her, this is one of the things she wanted me to take over and help her with. I was honored, and I think it's just going to be just as great here as it was in Georgia, so we're excited. But yes, like she said, women, we need to refuel each other. And one of the most exciting things about Beyond Basketball is every month we're going to have a guest speaker come in. So Joni started it off in the month of October, and it was great. And our next event is November 9th, and it's on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And thanks to Joni, we have a great guest speaker lined up, so we're super excited about it.
How do ladies get involved with this?
So easy. You can reach out to me as well. My email is ajones@athletics.tamu.edu, but you can go to 12thman.com/Beyond Basketball and register there. But anybody on our staff can help you and direct you.
Now, how many of you people in here were at the first one? I know there's several people.
Faces,
saw several hands here that were at the
awesome.
first Beyond Basketball last month,
Yes.
and a lot of rave reviews. A lot of folks in the community talking about it. Tell us what happened at the first event.
Oh, we had so much going on. First and foremost, Joni spoke and told us about her whirlwind of coming to Aggieland and how she's gotten 2 gold medals now. So kudos to her on that. And then she spoke about what she wants to do with the girls, obviously on and off the court. We had some other additions there. Kendra Scott was a great partner. And as we know, October was Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So they came in with their breast cancer line. And we also were able to give back all proceeds to breast cancer awareness. And Baylor Scott and White also donated that money to cancer research and a special piece of jewelry to everybody battling cancer right now, going through chemo, and survivors. So it was great to be a part of that. And they took it a step further, which very thankful for them. But they also gave 20% back to Beyond Basketball so we can keep this going.
Angela, tell us about yourself. What do we need to know about you?
Oh, do you want to know about me?
I do. We want to know about you.
So actually, I haven't been in athletics my entire life. I was actually in the corporate world. Straight out of college, I went to Mississippi State. I was a cheerleader there. Marketing was my major, and business administration. Came out, did pharmaceutical sales for a while. And then this one came a-calling when she was at LSU working under the legendary Van Chancellor. And he wanted someone with the marketing background who worked with donors well and kind of could bring things together and also knew athletics. So she called me and was like, get on a flight. Van wants to interview and Joe will leave us. So I did. And we had the opportunity to work there for his last year. It was awesome, probably one of the best years of my life. I still tell her that to this day. Fast forward, she goes to Georgia, gets that position.
She turned me down.
Oh, we're going to go there.
Yeah, I offered. She turned me down.
I did. Timing of life. God told me to hold on, not just yet. It wasn't time. Fast forward to Ross making the best decision of his career, hiring Joni to come here. She then called me again. Well, she actually didn't call me. She said, you're coming. And I was like, give me a week. But it was an easy choice this time around. So I'm thankful to be here. To piggyback off what Aaliyah Patty said, the environment's been great. Y'all are probably the most welcoming and loving people I've ever met. So thank y'all. But yes, I'm happy to be here. I'm excited about Thursday. Ready to get this ball rolling. So it's going to be a fun ride.
So I was able to squeeze in your title earlier, but
yes.
Tell us what it really means. Tell us what your deal is here.
So yes, obviously Beyond Basketball, that's one of the things I'll be handling, but I'm the marketing liaison. So we'll be working with our marketing department, coming up with new ideas to kind of just help elevate our program. It's been a great program. We just want to continue that and kind of bring some new things. And then the strategic relations part, I'll be working with major donors and sponsorships because we can never have enough sponsors or donors, right? So the SEC is a very tough place. I worked at LSU. I lived in Tuscaloosa, Alabama for 14 years. I have friends that coach there, so I've watched it. I know what it looks like. And then while she was at Georgia, I was probably there every other weekend. I was very close to her staff. They're like family, known them for years. But even their marketing department, I watched what they did. So I think that's why she called me. But we'll see.
All right, Angela, we've got Beyond Basketball returning this Wednesday. For those who are don't have a calendar in front of them, it's this Wednesday. And if they get a hold of you tomorrow, will you let them come on Wednesday?
Yes, and again, go to 12thman.com/Beyond Basketball. But yes, Wednesday at 8 o'clock, you can register there.
Where is it?
It is at Reed Arena on the 3rd floor ballroom. So,
and they should bring a friend. Just tell you in advance.
Of course, more the merrier. And Kendra Scott will be there again, and also even
she
bigger.
Will?
Yeah, well, she won't, but her representatives will. But
well, that'd be one way to get some more people.
Wait, stay tuned. Keep talking about it. Stay tuned.
Oh, ladies, listen up.
But even bigger, our wonderful ticket staffing from 12th Man will be there. They will be selling season tickets. So please come out. Yeah.
Excellent. Angela, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Angela Jones, everybody. This is the Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield. Texas A&M Athletics has launched the free 12th Man Rewards program. Fans 13 and older, thank you for standing with the 12th Man to create the home field advantage for our student athletes and coaches. Download or log into the 12th Man mobile app. Create your 12th Man Rewards profile today. Attend the events, get points. You get enough points, you get to redeem rewards. And for details, 12thmanrewards.com. And for more, so if you haven't signed up for that, if you've attended a bunch of events already, you would actually be getting a chance to get a 200 points pickup event. If you already had 200 points, the women's game on Thursday is a pickup event for you if you have put together that many points. We're back at Rudy's Barbecue. I'm Steve Miller. This is Joni Taylor, and this is our debut edition of the Joni Taylor Radio Show. We'll be here tonight, and then from here forward on Tuesday nights throughout the season. Reminder, the Aggies are taking on A&M Corpus Christi. That's this Thursday, 7 o'clock at Reed Arena. You can listen on the A&M Sports Network locally. That's Zone 1150, or watch on the SEC Network Plus. Then on Sunday, the Aggies host Army, 2 o'clock. Again, you can listen on the A&M Sports Network locally. That'll be 1620 WTAW. Watch on the SEC Network Plus, or we'll see you out at Reed Arena. Remember, on Sunday, we'll continue our Youth Sunday Fun Days. That's buy one GA ticket at the Window One Game Day. Get up to 4 kids in for free. I don't know if you can find a better deal than buy a ticket, bring all the kids in the neighborhood in for free. Joni, you had a busy summer and fall representing your country.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
I was fortunate enough to get the call twice to help coach USA Basketball. So I've been a part of USA Basketball for a couple of years now, but this past year I was the head coach for the 18 and under team, and that was a commitment that I made before I knew I was going to be sitting here. And so I moved my family here on May 29th. They stayed in Georgia to finish school, and I came in April. And they moved here on May 29th. We settled in on the 30th, and on the 31st, I left going to Colorado Springs. And I said, good luck. And so we had tryouts, and then we left immediately. Normally when you participate with USA Basketball, there's tryouts in May, and then you get to go back home, and then you leave in July or in August to compete. Well, this 18 and under ran straight through, so I left on May 31st and didn't come back until June 22nd. So we had tryouts. We were in Colorado until June 10th, and then we left on the 10th flying to Argentina. Ooh. And I was in Buenos Aires from June 10th until June 22nd. It was winter. It was 40 degrees.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't thought we would think of that that way.
Yes. But it was a great opportunity, obviously, to coach players that you've either recruited or you've watched play. And anytime you have a chance to serve and represent your country, it's just an honor. And USA Basketball there's only one goal, and that is to win a gold medal. There is no plan B. And when you operate that way, there's just a certain level of excellence and a standard that comes with it. And it is impressive, and it is unflinching and unwavering. And it's just great to be around it. It just helps tighten you up a little bit. So that was one experience. And then came back this summer and was able to go be an assistant coach for the national team. Cheryl Reeves from the Minnesota was the head coach of Minnesota Lynx, and Mike Tebow from the Washington Mystics, and Kara Lawson, who were going to go play at Duke in a week or so. We were assistant coaches, and that was the quote-unquote Olympic team. So the World Cup is the qualifier for the Olympics, and so we went to Australia, And we won the World Cup, and so we were automatic qualifiers for the Olympics in 24, which is in Paris. And, we'll see what happens from there. But just to be around, that the air is thinner up there for a reason. So to be around the Breonna Stewarts and the Asia Wilsons and those, level of coaches, it was really, really great learning experience.
What's one or two takeaways that you'll bring back to your career from those two experiences?
Really, they were confirmations. We tell our young ladies all the time, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And it is so true. It is so true. The other thing is there is elite, and then there is the best of the best. And to watch their routine every day, they have a standard of how they eat, when they eat, how they sleep. Their routine for warm-ups was the same. How they got after it every single day was the same. So just the simple things, the small things, and then the big things, their standard of excellence in everything that they did, and how they were able to call each other up when it even slipped a tiny bit. And tiny bit, I mean, like if the bus was leaving at 10 and somebody stepped on the bus at 9:56, it was like, hey, you're 4 minutes and you're about to be late. Like, don't step on this bus at 9:56, rookie. Just the ability to call each other up and continue to hold the standard of what was USA basketball.
Well, congratulations for bringing home the gold. That is great. All right, we have a final timeout, and then we'll be back with some remaining moments with Joni Taylor. We're live at Rudy's Barbecue. It's a Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield. This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield. Under the broadcasting rights granted by Texas A&M University, reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of Texas A&M University and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and Texas A&M University. We are back at Rudy's Barbecue with our remaining moments with Texas A&M women's basketball coach Joni Taylor. The Aggies going to take on A&M Corpus Christi this Thursday at 7 o'clock, and our men's team is getting ready to take on A&M Corpus Christi in just a matter of moments. Also on the A&M Sports Network locally, that'll be over on 1620 if you were listening locally. All right, so you don't like exhibition games is my guess.
I do not.
And why? Why do you not like exhibition games?
They allowed us to start having close scrimmages, I don't know, maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago now. Yeah. And we played Baylor last weekend in a close scrimmage. That's a lot more beneficial than playing an exhibition game where you're going to beat somebody by 30, 40, 50 points. And it doesn't really – I need to be exposed. I need to know where we have fallen short in terms of coaching them, preparing them. We need to let them play against those type of people. And so a close scrimmage allows us to do that. You can have 2 of them. So we've had 2 close scrimmages this year where it really helped us get better as a team. And that's what we want. We want to get better as a team. And then obviously – with the close scrimmage we have in Reed Arena, we try to bring the staff there so they can knock the rust off from the scorer's table, but it just benefits us a lot more. And explain to people why you're not allowed to really say much about what happened. Well, it's closed and it's illegal to talk about it. You're not supposed to promote it, so nobody can be there. We can't talk about the score, who won, who lost, or anything like that. It's just an agreement that you're going to play another highly competitive team and get after it. And you can shape that any way you want. So you can play a game, or you can say, hey, let's go 10 segments where we go ODO, offense, defense, offense. Let's go 10 segments of inbounds plays. So you can script that any way you want to get what you need out of it. And it's just, it's helpful to us. I like it much better. What are you looking for in your first game on Thursday? I'm looking for our young ladies to go out and do the things that we've asked them to do, like identify who we are. So I want to see them running their lanes offensively. Defensively, having a command of what it is we're doing. Disrupting, we want to disrupt. We want to bring it to you. And then, being one and done. We've really got to shore up. Aaliyah talked about it, our boxing out. We've not been very good in that area. So just really applying the things that we've talked about. And then I always like to see who's a gamer. There's always a gamer or two. So, you have some that struggle in practice or that practice okay, but then when the lights come on, like, they've got a little bit of gaming and showmanship to them. So I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. What can fans expect from you and the team when a game is over at home? Game is over at home. We're going to obviously go do the war hymn, and then each player will have a section, and they're going to walk into their section, and that will be the section they have for the entirety of their career, and they're going to get to know the people in that section, and they're going to walk up and talk to them. and visit a little bit and invite them to the next game. And so that's the tradition that we will start. And then we will also have post-game radio live from the arena. So when the game is over, after we've done the war hymn, I'll come over and we'll do the radio live so that everybody can hear it. So tell everybody in your section to stay in their seats so you can hear the post-game radio.
Yeah, because by the time you get to the car, it might be over.
It might be over.
All right, Joni, thank you so much for being here. Joni Taylor, everybody. Our thanks to Angela Jones and Aaliyah Patty, our great senior, our engineers Kevin Minshaw, and to Steve back in Jefferson City. For Coach Taylor, I'm Steve Miller. Have a great night. This has been the Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield.